Yo, this is Dan Fradenburgh from FIGGERRIDOUT.com, and I got twins today. I've got Jeremy and Joshua Mathis. They share each other's real estate deals and probably a lot of each other's thoughts. How you doing today, guys?
We're doing good, man. Thank you so much for allowing us to share our story and our experience with the audience. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. It's an honor to be on the show. So thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it.
I appreciate you being here. So if you two can just introduce your investment business for a second to get everybody up to speed, please.
Okay, so we've been in real estate now for 4 years. We do wholesaling, we flip and we rehab homes, and we also have a rental portfolio. Like I said, we've been doing it for 4 years. We've done well over 300 deals, and now we're looking to expand into the multifamily realm and take our business to the next level.
Awesome. Me too. And there you have it. So, but for everybody else, this show is called Figure It Out, and it's about using attention to detail to adapt your business or a career quickly to a changing market by learning new skills from zero for a new business or career. And that's what you're doing, making the jump from single family to multifamily, but you've already got rentals. So you've been in real estate for 4 years and you focus on single family. And so you're making that move into apartment complexes. So what are your reasons for making that shift? And what are some things going through your head about it, like challenges or things that make multifamily, apartment buildings easier than single families?
So to show you, we have different thoughts. I'll go first and I'll let him go. You'll see how different our thoughts are. So at least in my mind, and we've had this discussion before, we understand the multifamily game is a great space to be in. And we, like you said, you buy it one time and you get residual income, and that's something that you can get in the single family realm, but it takes a lot longer to get to that residual income when you can have financial freedom. So we already scaled our single family operation to a point where it kind of runs without us. So we're looking for that next challenge, and we feel like multifamily is the space to be in.
Mm-hmm. And Joshua?
Yeah, I mean, kind of the same thing that he said. For us, we've all, even starting coming into real estate, we always wanted passive income, but we didn't have the cash to just go out and start buying rentals. So step one was we started wholesaling, and then we started doing fixing and flipping, and that was building up us cash so that we can go buy rentals. And then you find out about multifamily, you say, hey man, I can buy a 50, 100 unit apartment building, and this gives me passive income for the rest of my life, just as long as we manage it properly. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer for us, because we like to work hard, but I don't want to work hard for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's the ticket right there. So one problem about real estate in general, and since you're doing single family, it shouldn't be that big of a problem, and your brothers, right? So one big problem is ripping each other off, people ripping each other off and, cutting people out of deals, and even though that they helped set them up. But I had identical twins in a lot of my classes, and they tended to agree with each other about 95% of the time, which is, I'd say, about 35% of the time more often than most brothers and sisters. But what about you guys? Do you agree most of the time? Like, you ever have to worry about one screwing the other one or something like that?
Fortunately for us, we never have to worry about that. My mom did a great job in raising us with the right ethics and values and morals. So for us, we don't have to worry about screwing each other off. But one of the things that we do have to worry about is making sure that we don't step on each other's toes. So the biggest thing that we've learned in business is we just have to set up accountabilities and who's responsible for what in the organization, and making sure that I don't step in his toes. So I'm in charge of acquisitions. I make all the calls. Yes, I run a lot by him, but at the end of the day, I make the final decision when we acquire an asset. When we are selling an asset, that's his decision. So for us, we are blessed in that we have somewhat of the same mindset to a certain extent. So we don't have to worry about certain things that most business partners have to worry about. So
and we play well off of each other. Yes, we're twins, but our personalities are completely different, completely different. And where he's more so of the, hey, he's more so the analytical guy, and I'm more so of the, hey, let's go and just get it done. And
ready, fire, aim.
Yeah, we're balance each other out really well. So
yeah, he's like you said, he's ready, fire, aim, and I'm ready, aim, fire.
Right, right. It's really good to have that kind of mixture. But before I moved to Taiwan, I used to tell people that I had friends that I trust with $1,000, but I wouldn't trust with my girl. But I also had friends that I trust with my girl, but there's no way in hell I'd trust them with $1,000 of my money. So is it both kinds of trust with you? Well, like you're both married and have kids, right?
Yeah, no, we are in serious relationships, but and we have kids, but I'm not married, so.
Oh, okay.
But to answer your question, yeah, we trust each other with the money and with our girls.
Okay, that's important. That's important. So about your girls though, like, are you planning on teaching them real estate, or are you going to let them choose their own profession?
So we bring them to projects now so that they can understand that whatever you want in life, you need to work for. It's very important. That's very important to us. That's how we were raised, and I think that's something that we want to instill in them. But where I know I can speak for both of us, we want to show them the business, but give them the opportunity to go out and experience and do whatever it is that they want to do. If they want to go out and start an accessory business, or they want to trade Pokemon cards or whatever, we would tell them if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it, but make sure you pursue it with excellence. But we definitely are going to expose them to whatever we have going on, because right now, eventually, everything will be turned over to them when the good Lord calls us home. So.
Yeah, that's you mentioned before the interview that I have carte blanche to ask you other things. But the reason why I asked that is because I do find that people treat daughters differently from sons. Usually sons, it's just like well, especially in Taiwan, like you come out of the womb, and I swear parents' first words to them are like, you're going to be a doctor when you grow up, right? So that's with the boys at least, and sometimes the girls, but fairly often in Western culture, it's like, oh, you sweetie, you can do whatever you want, and I'm not a big fan of that structure. So or that attitude. So that's why I asked in the first place.
Which attitude? The one that you're going to be a doctor, or you could do whatever you want? I'm
saying to your girls that you could do whatever you want, because I think that independence is absolutely paramount. I don't think girls should be raised to say it's like, oh yeah, find somebody to take care of you, because that's something that I don't find. Like I wasn't given that kind of leeway of just doing whatever I want.
I believe we live in a different society now where male and female are starting to become equal in the sense of our abilities to do whatever. And we recognize as a society that women can do the same thing that a man can do, and sometimes better, if you want to be quite honest. And one of the things that I know I can speak for us both is whatever you want to do and you can put your mind to it, you can get it done. And that's something that we train our daughters, and we let them know you can do whatever you want to do. So.
Awesome. So one thing that I realized as I got into real estate is that you see people like me who became successful doing one thing, but they became a tycoon once their attention fixes on real estate. Others maybe had a family in some part of real estate or something like that and just joined the family business. And then the last ones are people who never really had any success, but they learned the opportunity in real estate and decided to give it a stab. So how did real estate attract your attention?
Well, I'll give you the backstory. So we've been entrepreneurs our whole life. Some business ventures success, some not. And prior to us getting into real estate, we started a cleaning company. And within 18 months, we started and sold the company. Reason being, one, though, is because we had a mentor. And we used to meet with this guy. He was also a partner in the business. And we met with him quarterly. And he would say, hey, guys, we met with him, I forgot, I think it was 2016, the first quarter of 2016. And we were just telling him about the business. And long story short, he says, you guys hate this business. And we looked at each other and was like, yeah, we really do hate this business, because within that 18-month span, we hired and fired 29 different employees. Mind you, we were 21, 22 at the time. All of our employees were my mom's age or older, around her age. And we really didn't know how to manage people properly. So we ended up selling the business. Like most people, we heard an ad on the radio. And I said, look, man, let's go check it out. One thing led to another. And I mean, one thing about us, we'll figure it out. So one thing led to another, and we just said, hey, we jumped into real estate.
Yeah, that's really awesome. It's really, see, one thing I didn't reveal in my little outline, it was, what attracted my attention from you two. And it is that attention to detail. And it is that, you're clearly self-motivated. But the biggest thing is I noticed your self-awareness. Like you recognize, it's like, hey, I'm not perfect. I got these things on the go, but I have these goals. And if I have some character trait or something like that has to go, then I'll work on it. I'll develop it and get it. So that's what struck me about you guys on the calls, and going like, man, these guys are sharp, and you're young too. Back to real estate though. I used to live in this absolute tragedy of a Canadian city, because I call it a tragedy because the city council, they clearly wanted the town to be a bedroom community, which is nice, but the only jobs in the area were in the service industry, right? Like cashiers and stuff, because it was building like that for about 25 years. And when that's the case, I think real estate is one of the only opportunities that are always out there. Like I remember Nick, who we know, I interviewed him yesterday. I remember him wholesaling a deal this year, like just the summer in Flint, Michigan. So it shows like there's still opportunity even in really bad places. But what kind of people do you think are most likely to succeed in real estate? I mean, like if you've got no opportunities in your area, like some people can make real estate work and some people never do. But what parts of your character really help in real estate, and which parts do you think really mean that you should find another way to get rich?
Great question. I think for us, number one is perseverance. Because you're gonna think you get a deal under contract and you are excited, it's gonna close, it's gonna be a slam dunk, this is gonna be an amazing deal. You get a call, and this actually just happened. This just happened before this call.
Your call.
Hey, this deal is gonna go through because of this, and you realize some people get crushed because one thing bad happens. It's like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. And for us, it's like, hey, this didn't work out the way we thought it would. Let's keep going. And I can tell you perseverance is so key, because when we first started, it took us 3 months working every single day, 12 hours days, just to get a deal. And if you really think about it, that equates to 6 months because it's 2 of us. So just really think about that. So just constantly hitting the phones, constantly hearing no. And it takes somebody, I think, with a strong will to say, you know what, I'm going to continue to go after this, even though it's not working out for me, because this isn't something where every day is the same. Every day is different if you're doing it at the level that we're on. And I think perseverance is key.
For me, it's perseverance, but also mindset. We're constantly building up our mind, reading books, surrounding ourselves with the right people, being in groups like the group that we met you in, just being around those action takers, guys that's no nonsense attitudes, and we're going to get it by any means necessary. So just having the right mindset as well.
Oh yeah, just to bring it all together, like you said, perseverance and having that right mindset, which I think they both are really the same if you really think about it. Because if you have the right mindset, you're going to continue to wake up every day and say, my goal is to be a real estate tycoon, or my goal is to have 50 rental properties, or whatever your goal is. That's something that first starts up here. So
yeah, that's an awesome summary there. And for when we're talking about apartment complex deals though, I think one of the one biggest piece of the puzzle that's a problem is if you know no one. The problem is that someone has to like if you know no one and you want to do the deal, someone has to sponsor the loan, and to sponsor the loan, you have to have a net worth of the value of the deal, or at least the sponsor has to. Are you guys doing single family deals to build the net worth, or are you approaching people, or are you relying on our group, or what do you think someone can do if they don't have friends that are multimillionaires?
Social media has changed the landscape of life, of business, of everything. And one of the things that we've realized, again, goes back to mindset. If you tell yourself that I can't do this deal because it's big, you lost the battle. So one of the things about real estate that is really unique, and I don't know any other industry where you can do this, is if you find a good deal, you can close that deal. Why? Because you have so many people with the network that you can put it out on social media. Hey guys, I got this $20 million deal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And if you are surrounded with the right people on social media and you're using it the right way, your DMs are going to get flooded with, hey, I'm interested, send me details. So it's really no way that you can lose real estate if you're playing on the right side of the fence.
And to answer your question, yeah, right now we're working on building our balance sheet. But and also one thing I want to share with your audience is don't be afraid to give up when you're getting started. Meaning, give up equity in the deal, give up a nice size of the deal, because you're getting with people that are on the level of where you're trying to get to, that can sponsor that deal, that can teach you and educate you. You know, so you got to put a price tag on their time as well. So don't be afraid to give somebody 30-40% of the deal if they can come in and sponsor the loan and teach you everything that you want to know.
But make sure you vet them properly.
Correct.
And make sure you date them is what we like to call it, because you don't marry somebody the day after you meet them. So make sure you date them and you understand what their goals are, and make sure that you guys are in alignment with what you want the outcome to be.
So yeah, that's a really awesome way of putting it. And one concern that comes to my mind, just because of my background, I've had a bunch of different jobs, and I started into e-commerce 10 years ago to go up to where I am. But one of the things that I find when I'm giving career advice as opposed to deal advice is that once you accept the first check from somebody, then that kind of narrows the range of what you can make, like per hour or per deal or whatever, from that particular person. So have you used any like when you're approaching investors, have you said, okay, one-time deal, full stop, this deal I'm going to give you 30-40%, but like next one, it's a complete renegotiation. I'm just, basically goodwill, showing you that, we can make this work. Like, what do you kind of do to make sure that you don't end up getting stuck where like your investors, they're all looking for you to keep on giving and giving and giving and giving, and they keep on getting more, and then you just end up getting squeezed, and then you're like, why am I even doing this? Do you have any ideas about that?
So like I said, when we first started, I didn't mind giving up more, because you got to put in that sweat equity. You got to make your time or your abilities worth something. You got to show that to those investors. So up front, first couple of deals, yeah, they may get a bigger piece of the pie, but we started to put a value on ourselves. Again, you want to put your money to work, but I can put your money to work and make sure that you're getting the return that you're expecting. I'm doing everything that I say that I'm going to do with that money. So after a few deals, that conversation changes and say, hey guys, here's my results. And our results speak for themselves, and the investors, they're more than happy to say, hey, I'm willing to take less. Because again, you guys deliver and you do what you say you're going to do.
In the words of the great Canadian, Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank, he always says, I send my money out as soldiers.
Right.
I'm out to war. I want to make sure they come marching back. So,
with some friends. Some friends.
With some friends, yes. So what we did up front was we had that mindset: give up more than we really want to now. But we can show people that every time you send your soldiers to battle with us, we're coming back with all of your soldiers and some friends. Mm-hmm. So up front, we didn't have when we first started, we didn't have that stingy mindset, or that greedy mindset of, oh, we need to maximize every deal. The first 2-3 years in, we were giving away a lot, and we didn't even look at it as a bad thing. We looked at it as, again, mindset. Oh, this is going to turn into something where today we're closing on our biggest development deal ever. And we got 100% financing on a development deal, all because taking those small steps up front to give up, not being greedy, to give up more than we really wanted to. But it led us to this point now where we can do a development deal worth a couple 6 figures, and we don't have any money in the deal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really great stuff. And you were talking about investors, and one of the things, like you also mentioned that you started off with coaches and mentors and all that kind of stuff. And one thing that it sounds like you're saying, which is very similar to what Nick was saying, is if you had to say which of the two are more difficult to come by, a good deal or a good investor, I'll let you answer first. What would you say is harder to find?
I would say a good deal.
Yeah, a
Good
deal.
deal.
A good deal.
Yeah, that's what I was hinting at with Nick too. It's just saying, like, no, if you can get the deal flow, then investors will follow. So,
Sure.
and I think it's it's not the nicest thing to tell investors that, but hey, if somebody happens to be watching, but that brings me back to the SEC, which is one of the main issues of getting investors in the first place, unless you're shaking their hands, is the SEC won't let you do public ads, public offerings for investments. You actually have to, that I believe that's why one of the most common approaches is, I buy apartment buildings, I buy apartment buildings, I buy apartment buildings, because then I'm not saying I'm looking for investors. That's not okay. And I'm not saying that, internet, I'm not saying that myself, even though I'm Canadian, and I'm pretty sure the jurisdiction won't touch me yet. Anyways, but back to the SEC and coaching and all that kind of stuff, to get to my original point that I was going to make here is I know that a bunch of real estate coaches were shut down by the SEC last year. And the reason why they said that is because what they were teaching, there wasn't a realistic chance to succeed. And of course, I've been in the tech side of real estate training for 7 years. And so I know how to, walk the line and do what you're supposed to do. I know about getting like the 506B and 506C registration so that you can actually advertise. But you're actually doing these deals. You're actually doing these deals, which puts you outside, and you don't have a coaching program yet, do you?
No, we don't.
Okay, yeah. So you're outside of this completely, and you're actually doing these deals, and I'm not your coach. And I like you guys, and now I kind of feel like we're friends. But before that, like, we weren't particularly friends; we just knew each other. And I'm only saying that to emphasize that you two guys, once again, you're not here giving a testimonial for me, and you're not selling a course, and we're just looking for real estate deals, which I think is the only reason why strangers can trust what you two have to say in how you answer this question. My question is it actually possible to succeed in this industry starting from zero, in your opinion?
Yes, we do.
Us.
Yeah.
We started from zero. Even though we did sell our cleaning company, we really had no money. We maxed out our credit cards to get started. We had no money when we first started out in the industry. But it just, again, was a mindset shift when we realized if you can just find a great deal, everything else will fall into place.
For sure.
That's really what it boils down to, just having that ability to find the deal.
Right, and that's why I wanted to have you guys on, is because I knew for a fact it is working for some people. It's absolutely working, and me, I don't want to get people jumping into real estate if they don't have the makeup. If there's some things where like if they find they're always bouncing off the wall and changing what they're doing all the time, like that's not going to work in most businesses, and maybe a job is better for you or whatever. But thanks for being here. If you want to get in touch with the Mathis brothers or me, after all, we are buying, visit FIGGERRIDOUT.com/Mathis brothers, and that will forward you to the most updated link we have. And that's heading to your Instagram now. Is that right, guys?
Yes, the Mathis Twins on Instagram is the best way to reach out to us. Shoot a DM. We actually do respond. So reach out to us. Mathis Twins on Instagram.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks
Appreciate
for having us. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you.